Ooh, it's hot. Maybe we'll put these back on in a second. We're gonna crack open a can of Zombie Dust. It's a pale ale IPA. It's very bitter. To pretend you like drinking it is silly. Tastes like liquefied lawn trimmings. It's just... This intensely hopped and gushing undead pale ale will be one's only respite after the zombie apocalypse. That's like the whole... I don't know. It's... I bought it because I was like curious, and now I have to drink it or else it's a waste. But if you're like, unironically, you have any choice of beer you want and you're like, give me that Zombie Dust, you're an idiot. Put it right there. Okay. Next movie we're going to talk about is MaXXXine, the third installment of the X trilogy, a trilogy that I'm a tremendous fan of. I thought X was awesome. I saw it twice in theaters. I saw Pearl once, but I would have seen it again. I really liked Pearl, and I've already touched on both of those. I already reviewed them in previous Dante's Drive-In episodes. But more or less, MaXXXine is the third and maybe final in this series. I would like to see another one. I feel like the time in between Pearl and X, there's a lot more time that we could get back together with Pearl, or we could continue with MaXXXine after this or whatever. If they don't, though, I'm satisfied with the three that we got. MaXXXine felt a lot more like a movie. The other two felt very much like A24 movies that were like good movies, you know, obviously. Great movies, actually, I would say. Because here's the thing is, like, when they came out, we all said we liked them, but the fact that we keep talking about them, maybe it's because there keeps being like other installments and stuff, and Mia Goth keeps doing stuff, so we keep bringing them up. But the fact that we're still talking about them, and it's actually been a couple years, is really good. Because that's like a Midsummer, or like a Hereditary, or whatever. Because, you know, other movies, ones that we'll get to later, were like, so like, oh, we all love them, it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then we've already forgotten about them, we've already quit talking about them. But X and Pearl, I feel as though we're still talking about. Especially Pearl. We're still talking about Pearl and Mia Goth's performance in all of them, and that's great because I feel like we're looking at like the next classic horror film, at least of this generation for sure. It's so hot in this room. It's so hot. This is the end of summer update. It's 105 out. I don't know if I said that already, but MaXXXine, let's just talk about it on its own merits. This is a very much like an 80s movie. If X was a 70s Texas Chainsaw Massacre style, you know, sexploitation movie, and Pearl was like a Technicolor 1930s, 40s musical, you know, kind of thing. It wasn't really a musical, but like it had like that kind of like Wizard of Oz sort of, I've said that last time, tone with it. Then MaXXXine is an 80s crime, serial killer, murder mystery, whatever the fuck movie, with elements of like 80s cop action. I don't know, it's weird. But there's other things going on in it for sure. And it's not my favorite of the three. I think a lot of people were like really quick to shit on it and say it was bad or that it was a letdown or whatever. I think just because Pearl was so good. But here's the thing is, I think while Pearl was like a fantastic movie that hinged off of one like next level performance from Mia Goth, MaXXXine is just a great movie. Like, you can watch it over and over, and it's just an entertaining movie with, like, an ensemble cast and fun music and fun tone. And is it really trying to say a ton? No. I mean, like, but that's the thing is, like, I hate the fact that, like, it has to say something. I think the whole thing was that X very much dealt with parallels and looking at old age versus youth and sexuality versus prudishness and pornography versus real film and like sort of just like these crossing things. Like at a nexus point, you can look at anything from a lot of different angles and kind of see it from both ways. And Pearl dealt with a lot more of the Pearl side of that, and this just deals with a lot more of the MaXXXine side of it, I think. And I think that makes sense, especially because One's called X and one's called Pearl and one's called MaXXXine, and they both focus on those characters. And then X, those two characters cross paths, and we get kind of both of them. So I think it's kind of cool that you can watch the trilogy like Pearl X MaXXXine or X Pearl MaXXXine as they were released, or you could watch, you know, X and then MaXXXine, and then you go back and watch Pearl. Like, it was just kind of cool that you can mix and match like that, I think. And while this movie had an interesting villain, should we say, that I didn't really mind, you know, I felt like it was a reinforcement of the themes that MaXXXine was dealing with in the movie X. I just generally had a lot of fun with this movie. I really like hanging out with the character. I was happy to see her again. I really like hanging out with Mia Goth. Music was fun. I don't have much to say about it. I guess it's a fun movie. I had fun watching it with my friends. I went and seen it again and had just as much fun the second time. While, like I said, it doesn't have as much to say, I just hate that. It's like, it's just giving us a fun movie, you know, and it already kind of said what it needed to say in the other two, and this is just reinforcing it. I feel like it's a trilogy for the sake of having a trilogy, but that's okay, because we got to see Mia Goth more in this world, and there's some cool gore, for sure, some really cool gore, and I love a lot of the needle drops in it. I know that's like a stupid thing to, you know, give it props for, but I love music. Music loves me. I don't think some of you fuck with music as much as I do. So like when I hear Betty Davis eyes as the credits roll over a severed Mia Goth head, you know, I just had a nice warm feeling in my heart, you know, spoiler alert. Okay, the next movie I want to talk about is Longlegs, because I saw Longlegs in a double feature with MaXXXine, and that may have illuminated my feelings about Longlegs. This is probably going to be the most honest review of Longlegs on the internet, because I'm so blazed right now. I'm so sauced up, okay? Because I'm so sauced up, I don't give a fuck! I'll say whatever I want to say about Longlegs, okay? Longlegs was boring. I thought Longlegs was dumb, okay? That's not true. I'm just being a fucking idiot that's trying to be contrarian. Here's the thing. I actually really fucked with Longlegs. I thought the tone was cool. I thought, like, just visually, it just had this gloomy fucking dead leaves, wet grass, fucking rotting corpses, creepy dolls, satanic imagery, you know, weird shit. I fucked with it. It had a really cool tone. I don't really remember any of the music, but I feel like I liked music in it, even though I don't remember the music. But that's really all that comes down to is atmosphere. I love the atmosphere. And this movie loves to make you just simmer in the atmosphere. Just really sit in, just, you have to just like let yourself live in the atmosphere of this movie. And the atmosphere is great. I love that shit. My favorite fucking genre of horror film is gothic horror, and that's all about atmosphere. It's about just tone and vibe and weather and how weather makes you feel in certain situations and how people are acting and how people are dressed and stuff. So I fuck with atmosphere. I want to make that perfectly shining, sparkling fucking clear before I say the next thing I'm about to say, okay? The plot of Longlegs is what the fuck ever. It don't fucking matter. Here's the thing. People will say it does. People will say it means something. It doesn't. Okay? This movie is a movie that hinges entirely on your ability to enjoy atmosphere from a really great atmospheric director and two really interesting performances. One from Michael Monroe as our main character, and the second one from Nicolas fucking Cage as the eponymous Longlegs, okay? Those two things. If you don't fuck with either three of those things, then don't bother fucking watching Longlegs, okay? God damn it. This movie bored the fuck out of me though, okay? This movie's not scary, not even a little bit. It didn't creep me out. It didn't give me the heebie-jeebies. None of it fucking scared me. I only bring this up because a lot of people are convinced that this is the scariest movie since you know, The Exorcist or whatever the fuck. Insert name of scary movie, this is scarier than that. There are a lot of people that love to jump into comment sections and be like,
well, Longlegs is only scary if your IQ is like 190. If you're a fucking idiot, maybe you'll get scared by The Conjuring that's just all jump scares. Longlegs is above all that.
You know what, Longlegs could have used a few jump scares because then maybe I would have stayed the fuck awake. Okay? And I say this as a person that liked this fucking movie. And as also as a person that is drunk and saying their real opinion, I would have liked more to have happened in this movie. I kept, like, thinking that the movie had more to say and that I just wasn't seeing it. So I was really just like, oh, yeah, of course, like, the dolls represent something. Yes, Nicolas Cage being so crazy, it's gonna become something. And then it never did. And so I thought about it and I was like, what did I miss? Because people acted like this movie was one of the greatest fucking horror films of our time. And then I remembered that it's an Oz Perkins movie, the same motherfucker that did fucking Blackcoat's Daughter, and also the motherfucker that didn't know whether he would stake his life on something in Legally Blonde, okay? So Blackcoat's Daughter bored the fuck out of me. I tried my fucking hardest to get into that movie. I couldn't. It was too boring. And this is the second Oz Perkins movie in a row now where he has had excellent atmosphere and some really great performances, but just done the slow burn thing to the maximum that you can do it, just to then say, it was Satan. Ooh, Satan. I'm sorry, motherfuckers. I need more than that. I just felt like it was really gonna be something. A movie like Hereditary, you can like really break it down and dissect it and look at why it's so fucking scary. And that movie scared the dog shit out of me. And Midsommar didn't really scare me, but I actually liked it better than Hereditary. But both those movies, you can look at them like and rip them apart and see how much thought really went into these fucking movies. Longlegs, you look at it and you're like, well, somebody was a really big fan of Silence of the Lambs and of Seven and all these things, and they ended up making a movie that's infinitely less interesting than both of them. Okay? And if I had to see another motherfucker with a Letterboxd account tell me that Longlegs is the new Silence of the Lambs or the new Seven or is better than both of them, God forbid, I want you to go back and watch Silence of the Lambs and watch Seven again and tell me with a straight fucking face that Longlegs is better than them. If you say it and you're saying it to my face, you're one of two things. You're a fucking fat ass fucking liar with extreme recency bias, or two, you're a fucking idiot because this movie's not even in their fucking pantheon. It is only in discussion with those in the sense that it is similar in tone and plot structure. That's it. In terms of quality, Silence of the Lambs is one of the greatest movies probably ever fucking made. It is so rewatchable. It is so fucking good. It is structured perfectly. It's so exciting and so satisfying once it concludes. You want to watch it again and again and again. And you can show it to almost anyone and they will have that experience. That is the mark of a fucking phenomenal fucking movie. Seven is one of my favorite movies ever made. I know a lot of people have recently all of a sudden decided that David Fincher is movie bro stuff and that we all don't like him because it's for movie bros and whatever. I don't give a fuck. The tone, the soundtrack, the performances from Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, just the escalating nature of the crimes they're investigating, and then that fucking ending. I know it's been parodied and whatever to the fucking umpteenth degree, but that ending is a fucking all-timer that will knock you out of your fucking seat and onto your fucking back and send you into anaphylactic shock and to the fucking hospital, and then you'll say, please, can I watch that again? I need to fucking look at that again. And then every subsequent rewatch, you see the craftsmanship that went into getting you to that place and how good it is and how fucking just perfectly executed and fully realized the world of that movie is. And then some motherfucker on Letterboxd will try and tell me that Longlegs is all of those things too. When all Longlegs is a movie with phenomenal atmosphere, with 2 great performances in it, that was a really interesting movie to watch that I would never want to watch again because it is boring. Nothing happens. I was so enhanced and it sunk in to what the movie was doing that I actually got ahead of the plot and basically guessed everything about the plot. Nothing was surprising, nothing was scary, nothing was unexpected. It was bizarre, I suppose, but then again, the explanation for all this shit is, oh, it's Satan. It's Satan. Satan cult. Satan worship. Hail Satan. And it's like, I'm sorry. I'm not scared of Satan. I'm a God-believing person, but not a Christian. Okay, like I believe in I'm getting honest here, but it's hot. I'm sweating all my brains out, and I'm drinking this stupid zombie dust IPA. I believe in a higher power, and I have faith in things like this, but I don't believe in the Bible. Okay, and so like Christian paranoia and horror and things like this, like things involving just so much satanic shit, this movie being scary is really going to hinge on how scared you are of those concepts. And I can understand that. I can empathize with that. Because I watched The Omen as a kid and it scared the fuck out of me. And now as an adult, I just appreciate The Omen as a great movie. As a movie I really enjoy. Same with The Exorcist. The Exorcist, though, is a really scary movie for a number of other reasons that have to do with things beyond just Catholicism. And so, while Longlegs isn't a Catholicism movie, it just is a movie that ultimately has nothing to show me that I have not seen before. It's just a bunch of other elements thrown in that are interesting. And the only reason I'm giving it so much time is because I feel like a lot of people were convinced or hypnotized or something into some grand mass delusion that this was the second coming of fucking Christ. And it's not. It's just a great movie. I really enjoyed it. And I only spent so much time because I gave it as much time as I did in this drive-in, because that's how much time I spent poring over comments of people just shitting on me, saying like, go watch Twisters then, if you want something more cookie cutter. This is an elevated horror film. Get the... Fuck you. Fuck you, man. I'll watch anything. I'll watch Fright Night Part 2, and right next to it I'll watch Prom Night, and then I'll watch Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and then Highlander, and then Grease, and then I'll watch fucking Speed, and then I'll watch Sling Blade. Okay? I'm just reading VHS tapes that are on my shelf. I'll watch anything. So don't fucking talk to me about elevated bullshit, whatever. You went to film school, you've got a letterbox. Suck my fucking fat fucking cock, okay? I liked the movie. Okay? I'm merely saying I enjoyed MaXXXine more because it at least had entertaining shit happening. It had something happening beyond just atmosphere and 2 great performances. That's really all I'm trying to say. Blackcoat's Daughter, this is an improvement over that because at least this movie had like a plot that like I followed and was like able to see to the end. I don't know. I didn't even have a very compelling mystery. Like I said, I spent so much time with it. There was so much... It's a slow burn. But like people seem to forget what slow burn means. Slow burn does not mean boring, okay? If a movie's boring, it's boring. A movie that's... I would honestly consider The Thing like a slow burn. Like, but it's a phenomenal movie, and by the end of it, it's exhilarating. Slow burn means like it'll take a bit, but once it gets going, it's gonna go, and it's gonna climb and climb and climb, and then peak and explode, and you're gonna be on fucking whatever. This doesn't do that. The ending of this movie is shit also. I couldn't stand the ending, and I'm sure that the director will be like, well, I did it on purpose. It's to test. It's supposed to make you not feel satisfied so that you want to examine it again. Whatever. It's too hot in my room for me to care about these things.